Basically, I got two rows. There's 4 linear ball bearing set that are, there's a total of 8 that are rated at 375 pounds each. So there is no deflection. I used half-inch 6061 aluminum throughout. As far as the top, all the rest of the components are milled. So if you look down the main shaft, there's 2 shafts. So I don't need a articulating arm on here. Even though if I wanted to cross cut something wider, let's say something 8 feet, there's no problem, because I can literally stand on this saw and it's not going to move, because I went overboard on the bearings and how much load it can carry. I use 12.9 all M6 through everything. They're either countersunk or they're, everything's X drive through the whole system. The secret, like on a Laguna or Felder or whatever, I don't know why they haven't figured it out yet, but on a short stroke slider, the problem is removing the fence, because you get to the end of your stroke, and if you want to rip something on your rip fence that's longer than your the end of your slide here, you're going to hit it. So what I came up with was push the slide the end of the stroke and pivot it off out of the way. So now you can rip, it's totally out of the way, and you can rip whatever you want. And when you want to go back to whatever you're doing, you just flip it back up. And what I did is, if you look really close here, I put some graphite impregnated bronze bushings in between the 20 millimeter. There's a 20 millimeter shaft that runs from end to end, and I put some bronze bushings on the very end and clamped them. I don't know, probably about 400 pounds of force, so they're locked tight, and there virtually is no friction because of the bushings. So it flips back up onto the table, and my settings will always go right back to where they were, where I started. So I can flip it out of the way and then go right back to where I was before without having to take off the fence and recalibrate or do anything. And it's an Altendorf sliding table saw fence that I modified. I got another one over here for this saw. See, it's sitting back over here in the corner. So I got a whole nother one that I'm going to put together for this saw, because I like it so well. I'm going to put it on the unisaw, see how that one works. How does it cut? I'll do it, I'll make a cut with one hand here, and you be the judge. maybe a little tear out on the end. I went through kind of fast, but a little bit on the bottom. I got a little end free play that I still need to adjust. Using a negative rake tooth on here, but how does it rip? Well, even with a fine crosscut blade, let's try it out with this Be Smart fence and see how she crosscuts. Now here's where the problem would lie if I wanted to rip something narrow and longer than the travel of the fence. It would hit, let's say I wanted to go to right here, the board coming through would hit the end of the fence. So let's just push it out of the way and flip her down. Now it's out of the way. So now basically is all I got is a plain old, basically a unisaw. Or Powermatic or whatever you want, Grizzly or... Oh, what's this? Not a bad cut for crosscut blade for ripping African mahogany. I don't know. Anyway, it's got a little more tuning, a little more engineering. The heart of the whole saw is the motor down here. It's a Pro Tool. It's like a beefed up TS75 Festool. They're the same company. It's like a giant Festool saw, basically upside down, bolted onto the table. And use phenolic resin. Over here, because it's European, I had to use a 230 volt converter to convert it to 110 volts. So I can run this saw basically anywhere I want in a 110 volt outlet. And I don't know, I'm on a 20 amp breaker and it runs fine. I put insulation up there for the noise because it is loud. It's the windy gear drive or whatever, but it's basically a Festool plunge saw turned upside down with a little bit more power because it's 2200 watts. So it's it'll take a bigger blade. This is a TS75 blade off one of my Festool saws here, but it'll take a up to 230 millimeter diameter blade, so it will go bigger. But as far as doing panel work and stuff like that, it's fine. Or ripping, I just ripped some 4/4 African mahogany with that, and it worked fine. But I got rip blades and everything else for it. I put some rubber bumpers down here to stop the travel when it goes back all the way. When it goes to the back of the cut, it's there, and it goes to the end of the cut. I got rubber bumpers out here. Not perfect by no means, but it's better than I don't know, going out and spending $500 for a piece of Taiwan junk that I didn't make, that I don't even know it's even going to work. So build it yourself.